why I feel in the face of all the problems in the world impotent, and why I somehow cannot manage to transform I. Now here we get to the real problem, because we're always telling each other that we should be different. Now, I'm not going to tell you that tonight. Why not? Because I know you can't. Nor can I. That may sound depressing, but I'll tell you it isn't. It's very hard. But everybody, you see, who is at all sensitive and awake to their own problems and human problems is trying to change himself. We know we can't change the world unless we change ourselves. So when we are aware of the ego I, we are aware of this chronic tension inside ourselves. And that's not us. It's a futile tension. So when we get the illusion, the image of ourselves, married to a futile tension, you've got an illusion married to a futility. And then you wonder why I can't do anything.
Well, here we are. We got our bearish confirmation candle, eh? Let's record this trading view idea and drink deeply from my tall glass of I told you so. Wait, I'm actually going to sip this for dramatic effect. Hold on. Thank you. It's filled to the brim. Anyway. So, I'm happy to say we just got our bearish confirmation candle, and let's actually load up the BLX ticker. That's probably updated by now. It does take a day. It only rolls over once a day because it's a daily only chart, but apparently it's active. So, we're going to pop over to the weekly chart over here. Very nice. And I apparently have this defaulted to the 240 values, so let's swap that out for a 0, just so we have those institutional benchmarks in place. And let's do a quick side-by-side comparisons of the crash patterns so we can best represent, my current expectations, especially with how the fractal has played out almost identically up until this point. Now, what a beautiful chart. Let's get those cute little guys side by side. Perfect. So, we re-entered the 200 band, it resulted in mean reversion to the 200 mean, We saw the automatic relief rally of low volume with a secondary test of the price pivot, before a run-up to test the weekly 50 moving average, followed by a rejection and a slow trickle which lasted around 40 days, which is now going to be followed by a slow trickle, which is going to last about 40 days. It is just uncanny. And to be honest, it might take a little bit longer than 40 days, simply because of how, the more times the cycle repeats, the longer it's going to take for the logarithmic function to actually finish its cycle. With this in mind, we saw a nice smackdown from the weekly 50 in both instances. And my two conditions over the last 4 months for entering a long position on Bitcoin has been the following: a candle close up above the weekly 50 moving average, or a test of the weekly 200. Those are your two bullish scenarios for Bitcoin, right? Now, what we are waiting for to actually enter a new long position on Bitcoin is a retest of that value, the weekly 200, where Bitcoin is going to do the squish as the weekly 50 and the weekly 200 come close together, and price is going to radiate down, trickle sideways in the lowest volume and lowest volatility period, which is probably going to last a month. Right there on top of that weekly 200 moving average. That's going to take a long time, and it's going to be a very quiet period for Bitcoin, right? And then as soon as we break above the weekly 50, there's your bull run, right? That's when the brakes come off and we fly up 1,000%, right? Just for some perspective there. Goodness gracious. So, with this in mind, let's actually talk about our short-term mean reversion pivots. Pew. And we are going to take a look at the Coinbase chart today, because there is some finicky things happening with the tether-weighted chart. And because of that, I am not inclined to consider the candle close. Whereas pretty much any other chart other than the Bitfinex chart, BTC USD, let's just do Coinbase. Alright, that's going to provide accurate results. Beautiful. And first of all, we're going to identify our mean reversion pivots. A look at the 1050 band. That is, I think it was since April 9th, I've been talking about how that was the required pivot for mean reversion based on the longest overexpanded period. And it had held pretty well for quite some time, where as long as we were above this pivot, we were technically in a state of expansion and trend, and that did test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. And then when it finally broke through, that's your bearish confirmation, and it's going to result in trend down to this value here, the 1050 MA on the 1 hour chart. Now, it is important to note that if we were to go on, say, macro level time frames, if we were to retrace down to, say, this value here, it would be reasonable to imply full retracement all the way down to the weekly 200 value, right? Partial retracement is going to apply full retracement, and we are getting that new downward net expansion. Well, that does result in significant downward trend. So, I'm very happy with this chart. I am going to load up the weekly MA's Anywhere indicator. Beautiful. Excellent. So this jagged yellow line up here is the weekly 50 MA, and this purple line down here is the weekly 200 MA. My official short signal happened the exact swing high for Bitcoin. Beautiful. April 23rd. And I actually had 2 charts, but I didn't save it correctly, so feel a bit goofed about that. But let's just hit the play candle. We're right on top of that weekly 50 MA, and, well, we are getting that. Okay, this is the BLX chart. It's not going to load because the weekly candle needs time to close. That's unfortunate. Anyway, there goes the dramatic emphasis. But the point is, right here on the 23rd, this location right on the weekly 50, we did get our short entry, and our profit ratio was 7 to 8 to 1, where we had a stop loss at 5,800, and our take profit is just the weekly 200. So 33% upside, assuming you're unleveraged, and if you are leveraged, well, you could stand to make 250% on your position if you did play your cards correctly. So, very exciting time for Bitcoin, very exciting time for me. I do intend to layer further into this short position, and right now my current short entry signal for additional trend confirmation would be a 105 period CCI roll down, and we can set an alert for that, but I really am doubting that's ever going to hit. I do know that we aren't going to be exiting our band again, and downward trend, well, sustained downward trend is now implied. Attempting to find the swing high of that range is going to be a little bit trickier, but I do believe the uptrend is over for Bitcoin, and we will see a full retracement. Okay? It has been a pleasure trading with you folks. I'll talk to you all later. Nice, guys. Okay. Title definitely needs a with 100% certainty. Well, it's after the fact, so we can get away with that. Suckered. Thanks, Colin. Colin, what did I do that was at all sexual? Tell me. Sakurana says, hello, daddy. Oh, I get it. I just connected those dots. You can call me daddy. I'm Dad Shark. Pax Mal says, I didn't expect the USDT thing. I had switched to USD, LOL. Probably going to be the same shit. One of the biggest revelations in crypto is the fundamentals don't matter. And why isn't this loading? Come on. Go forth, my brother. There it is. Anyway, here's what's cool about this, guys. You're gonna like this. Actually, we're gonna do the VLX chart. All right, we just want to look at the side by side. So, I have an important question for you. So if these are supposedly completely independent events, where independent and unique news came out and influenced the events of each of these, right? If the market is truly driven on fundamental news, why do they follow the exact same TA patterns? If there's unique fundamental news coming out at different times in the chart, like let's say we had Mountain Gox FUD at this location, and whereas we got Tether FUD at this location, right? Sure, there's going to be short-term reactionary moves. But the important thing to notice here is, you see what I'm getting at? Do you see what the big deal is? If fundamental news truly mattered, why do the charts play out the same way? That's not a rhetorical question. I want an answer. It's because fundamental news is released with the sole intention of hurting the masses in the direction of those who are already holding positions. Does that make sense? Okay. So, a market maker loads up on positions, and then news is released to benefit his position. A market maker goes short, or rather the market makers go short, and then release tether FUD in order to cause the masses to drive the market for them, right? That does get pretty close to the realm of conspiracy. But if it's not true, why did the markets play out in almost identical manners despite being completely different news sets? Oh, it's a lot of comments. Let's get through these. Henry says, thanks for the advice over the past few weeks. My short has made 50% profit so far. Thank you. It has been my pleasure. Colin Vetter says, show dad love and throw him a tip. Once my position is green, I'm going to tip him and cat 1%. You are a scholar and a gentleman. You know, I don't even think I have my Bitcoin address on the server anywhere. It might be. No. Jesus. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna put my Bitcoin address around here somewhere. I don't really need tips, because, I mean, I'm in a short too. But I will not turn down your generosity. Litecoin BTC short. Sure, I'm gonna go through all the comments first and then look at the coins. I mentioned that because I didn't expect the move on USDT, USD pair. Actually, I kind of got screwed on that too. You know, I actually keep... the whole point, or the whole style of my trading is minimizing risk. And I actually, when I tether out, I put my funds split in between like PAX, TUSD, and USDT. So I actually lost several $100s last night moving USDT to PAX. It was a bit of a nuisance, but the FUD was a bit stronger than usual, and I don't want to deal with it, so I just took the loss. If you look at the weekly chart for TUSD to USD, I mean, I probably shouldn't, but better safe than sorry, right? Yeah, it's the other way around. TUSD, USDT. Like, historically, it always has come back down. And honestly, you could probably just make a lot of money providing liquidity to this chart on leverage. Right, if you just fill the order book on the swing highs and the swing lows, then you know, every time it returns to the mean of 1 for 1, you know, you make 4%. That's probably a really good trading strategy, except you are completely and absolutely screwed when tether fails, right? And just for perspective of what that would look like, you'd be on the losing side of that position. So I don't recommend it. I will once I take profit. Thank you, brother. Ethics says, the point is huge. Please drive home. It's all I've been thinking about. Fundamentals don't seem to ever matter. All I do is accelerate the TA. Yep. TA's only, or I'm sorry, FA's main purpose is to drive the herd. And surely I'm not suggesting that traders react like the general stomping of a herd. Not at all. That would be very offensive of me to do. Anyway, let's check out Litecoin as per request. I want to call a short entry on this. Maybe like right now. Like maybe right now. Like that's a quad CCI entry. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna short this. It's good. I just want to be careful about the fact that this might end up in a distributional range. And if I'm wrong about that, well, Christ, that's huge. Right, that's a 36%. Oh my god. No, I don't want to really bet against this quite yet until I get a little bit more slope on the probability volatility. And I think there should be compressing volatility overhead to, or rather the longest overextended period is still going to screw with this on the 150. Now it's actually already re-expanding. Wow. That's troublesome. Okay. Take another look. It also says Litecoin is forming a huge cup and handle on the daily. What, you're betting on trend continuation? I guess you're going to use a Fibonacci retracement on that too? Okay. Here we go. Wow, I drew it upside down, but I don't really care. Wow, right on the 50 mark, guys. That's gorgeous. Is that really half the move? That's ridiculous. Like, that drop happened a lot faster than I anticipated. I don't agree. I mean, if Bitcoin has such a bearish sentiment, I'm not going to bet long on an altcoin, you know? Okay. Get some questions in there, folks. I want to talk about coins, you know? The DGG is breaking out pretty strong. Couldn't tell you why. Altcoins are still bleeding like crazy. Might put even more of my positions into Tether, to be honest. FUSD. I'm going to be honest, FUSD is just going to be a leveraged Bitcoin short. I mean, there's still the same bearish confirmation and mean reversion. That's really all this is. There's no short entry into this, and I'm sure people are going to try to long this right now because of this super obvious trend line. But I don't recommend it. If you have the beginning of a downtrend, look for a short entry. Okay, how are we doing today? How's viewership? 24. It's pretty good, eh? Okay, well, I gave you like a good 5 minutes to ask about coins. Since you're not giving me any, I think I might call it for the day and go for my bike ride. DGD, what the hell? I already knew this was happening. Never mind. I might look at like ADA. I mean, you're still shorting ADA, aren't you, Curva? Good on you, man. You've been talking about this one for a while, and you're just getting that trend continuation. One last check. XRP, BTC, okay. It's a downtrend, I'm going to tell you that. And you want to bet on trend continuation when you have a downtrend. Like, if you just quad CCI this shit, I swear to God. Hold on. I'm just going to set a quad CCI and assume trend continuation, and then I'm done, okay? Okay. We want plot crossing down the 100 value. Cool. That'll do it. Create. Gorgeous. When that triggers, I'm going to try to short this, okay? That's my Litecoin opinion. All right, folks, I have more ads. Who's this? Okay, I can't open DMs on stream, so if this is a question about the stream... Yeah, dude, if you DM me on a stream, I'm not going to open it just in case, you know, like, you tell me your life story or something. So always try to keep it in chat. Okay, what do you want me to do? What? Is this a joke? I don't even know where the chart went. Where'd the chart go? I'm so confused. What happened? What did I... Okay. I think there's only one way to analyze this chart, and it's with a fib circle. There you go, mate. Hold on, we gotta put it at like the top there and then the bottom over here at current price. There we go. That's how you use a fib circle. Okay, and then eventually it's gonna hit one of the lines on the chart. That's how these work. That's the secret, guys. Secret to trading. Or even better yet, you can buy low and you can sell high. That's personally what I recommend. What is the 1050 price for Bitcoin right now? What do you mean? 4,700. Okay, that's it for today, folks. Everything's good. Viewership's still good, though. I don't know. I'm satisfied. Every chart's going to be red today. So I'm going to be done. Okay. BZT. Oh my god, this took like a 37% hit in a few days. 40% in just like 4 days. Jesus. Ah, it's like 5% of my portfolio right now, but I should have sold it. It's just so volatile. Who knows? Okay, folks, I'll see y'all later. You have a good one. Wow, my hotkey didn't work. Pew pew. I'll see ya.